Let me take you back to the mid-'70s, my preteen years. I was a military brat. Now, being a military brat, I had grandparents in North Carolina and also in New York. Now, let's take you to North Carolina. Came from a small town called Messick, M-E-S-I-C. Population was about 200 people, pretty small. We didn't have sidewalks, no street lights. We had one shop that was up the road, and that's all we called it, was up the road. I think it was called Tony's shop. It was not only a barber shop, it was a pool hall, it was a candy shop, chicken shack, all that, right? The town was so small, it was actually acceptable to actually hitchhike, because 9 times out of 10, whoever was coming up the road was family. Now let's take you to the flip side, to New York, right? Totally different, Jamaica, Queens, right? To get to the corner store, you had to pass through a couple different neighborhoods. We're talking 3 blocks, right? So each block fought one another. So as a child in the 70s, this was actually quite scary, but I always wanted to get to that corner store and everything. So one of the things that I've learned through growing up in my early teen years, actually preteen years, was that, you know, life just will throw stuff your way and you just have to adapt. That was just life for me. I didn't see any different. It was just you dealt with, and you just played the hand that you were dealt. Picture this, an 11-year-old boarding a plane to leave to another country. That was life for me as a military brat. You know, I was both scared, but also intrigued at the same time. What was it going to be like to live in another country? I was open for it. So we get over to Korea, and we lived like 2 miles off base. And in order to get to the activities that were on base, I actually had choices. I could either walk, I could take a cab, I could take the bus. But when it came to the cabs, you could either take the American cab or you could take the Korean cabs, right? But it was up to me to get to base. Now, when I got to base, here's the thing. They had plenty of activities, and I was actually pretty good at a lot of different sports and activities, but I was inconsistent, right? I wanted to break that inconsistency. I've always wondered why the people that were really good all the time were actually really good all the time. So I always made it a point to hang around people that were smarter, faster, more creative than me. That was my life as an 11-year-old. One of the things I learned very early on was that if you wanted things, you had to have money. You had to pay for it. So I always wanted to work. I remember back living on a military base, I used to collect newspapers, aluminum cans. I would wash cars or cut grass in order to make money. And there's a point where we moved back from Korea, being a military brat. Once again, I would spend summers with my grandparents. Now, picture this. I'm 12 years old in small town Messick, North Carolina. An opportunity came for me to go and work at a shrimp factory. Now, let me explain to you what working at the shrimp factory is like. So the boats would come in, they would dump the shrimp out in front of you on this big table. You would grab the shrimp, stick your thumb through the necks, pop off the heads, and put the shrimp on the conveyor belt, and you got $3 a bucket of heads, right? They would stamp your little thing on the back of your shoulder, but here's what the challenge that I had. I was working with a bunch of adults. They could grab way more shrimp than I could. But guess what? I did the best that I can. And I actually lasted longer than some of those adults.
Thank you so much for watching the Making of an Entrepreneur DocuSeries. I just want to take a moment to talk to you. That's right, you that's watching right now. You the mom, or maybe you're the dad, Or maybe you're an entrepreneur, or perhaps you're an auntie or uncle, but you're someone out there that has a heart to give, you have a heart to serve, and as you're watching this Making of an Entrepreneur docuseries, you may be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, I've had some life lessons, I've had some setbacks, I've had some experiences, I've gone through some things that have helped me become a better person, and I want to take that and I want to release that to other folks. Okay. Maybe you're a speaker and you're already doing it. Maybe you've written books and you've already done that. Or maybe the story that's inside of you, the expertise that's inside of you, the message inside of you, this is the right platform for you to make a bigger difference and a bigger impact in the world. Now, this whole Making of an Entrepreneur docuseries, if you had to sum it up in just one word, and it's kind of hard to do that, but as I'm talking to you and you're listening right now, you might be saying, Shay, what's the one word? And the one word I would say is just legacy. Legacy. There's a legacy I understand that you want to leave for your family, and I get that. But there's also a legacy of your knowledge. There's a legacy of your expertise. And think about this. You're able to share your message or share your story or share your expertise. And long after you're gone, they still have a window into the soul of who you are and the impact that leaves behind. If that's you and you someone that's want to get the information, you're someone that's ready to do something bigger than just your business and bigger than just making more money, but you want to have more meaning in the world, do me a favor. Go over to www.themakingofanontrepreneurdocuseries.com. I know that's a long email, a long address, but I want you to hear it again one more time. Themakingofanoentrepreneur.com. Now, when you get there, just put your first name and your last name and your phone number and information in there. Worst case scenario, you have a meeting with the team and decide, hey, me being a cast member, this isn't a good fit, but I had a lot of fun. Best case scenario, you decide to take a step. Folks understand your backstory, understand what you've been through, and the world is much better off while you're here. And when the day comes and you decide to transition and move on, it's still doing very, very well. So with that being said, I just want to pop in. Thanks a lot for watching the Making of an Entrepreneur series. My name is Shay Brown. I want to encourage you to continue to watch, and I'll see you at the next episode. God bless.
Let me take you back to 1988, graduating from high school, going to the mailbox, opening this letter, inviting me to go to George Mason University. Yes, along with some of my classmates, we packed our bags, headed out to this wonderful campus. First semester, hey, it was going great, except for my grades. But second semester, went to another mailbox, different letter, inviting me not to come back. That's when I learned that college wasn't for me. I initially got a job, and then I got another job working for Holiday Termite and Pest Control. Not only did I start the job, I actually had a newborn at the same time. 10 years later, after working for this company, I actually ended up buying the company because the owner decided to retire. And here I am owning Holiday Termite and Pest Control. One of the things I learned in life, sometimes college isn't in for everyone, and you gotta find a way. My way was Holiday. Here I am, 31 years old, the owner of a pest control company I worked for the previous 10 years. All I was thinking, I was making 11 bucks an hour before, and I would go to somebody's house, do a service, and I collect a $180 check. $180 check, 11 bucks an hour. Easy math to me, I'm in business. I really thought it was that simple. I just do all this work, this money come in, take care of everything. But for me, I tried to run the business the way the previous owner did. So I invested in the Yellow Pages, big time, just like he did, because I was out there doing the work. But guess what? There was a change. There was a shift. That shift was the internet happening. That was the first time that I almost lost my business. But I didn't give up. You had to adapt. You have to figure it out. And I kept pushing. And here it is 20 years later, and I'm still here. So here I am, several years in, operating Holiday Termite and Pest Control. Overcame some challenges, plenty of big challenges, a couple that almost took me out of business. But I always held strong to making sure that I helped others. But as hard as I worked, I've always struggled and didn't know why. I think it was about 6 years ago, I was talking with a friend, and she said something to me about CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, right? Where you can take short-term therapy to get to one solution. So I said, you know what, that's probably what I need so I can figure out what's going on. So I went, met with a therapist, and we were working on goal setting because I struggled with goal setting. I struggled with doing things on a routine basis. And she shared something with me. She said, Cleveland, I think you need to go get tested for ADHD. And so I did. I found a psychologist and got tested for ADHD, and come to find out I showed up on the spectrum. That was such a life-changing moment because now I knew what was holding me back and I could do something about it. And my business actually took off from that point forward.
It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown. I just want to speak to you, the speaker, or maybe not even a speaker, right? Maybe you're not a speaker, but you have a message inside of you that you want to release, or maybe you have a story, right? A story of your life, a story in your career, or maybe as you're listening right now, you're an expert, right? You're an expert at teaching people how to do something. You're an expert at raising kids. And I want you to imagine for a moment that you had an opportunity to share your message or your story on a bigger stage. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment and what that would mean for you if you could reach your target audience. If you're an entrepreneur, if that target audience got associated to the problem that you solve, or if you're a super entrepreneur with sales funnels out there, not only did they get associated to who you were, but they were able to join your list. Now, for other folks, that won't make no sense at all. But for you, the entrepreneur, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I want to invite you over to something called the Comeback Champion Summit. And the whole purpose of the Comeback Champion Summit is really to do one thing, which is one word, and that is possibilities. That's right. When you get a chance to get on stage, you get a chance to do it virtually, and some of you maybe in person, and you get a chance to share your story. So something deep inside of you. I always say your message, because some of you have a message or your expertise. Then guess what happens? 3 things happen. Number 1, you get to make a difference. And isn't that why you are on this earth? I mean, I don't want to get emotional here, but you're really on this earth to make a difference for someone else. Something has happened to you so it can go through you to someone else. And being able to speak on a platform that provides an audience, it's like having a microphone that allows you to help more people faster. So that's number 1. Number 2, when you're on a platform, I'm going to invite you to the Comeback Champion Summit, you get a chance to have more meaning in the world, to have more impact, and to have more influence. And that's really who we're looking for. We're looking for folks out there who have an interest, want, or desire of serving others. So if that's you, I'm going to invite you to go over to www.comebackchampionsummit.com. Again, comebackchampionsummit.com. Click the button. It'll say apply to speak. Go through the process. And if it's a good fit, can't wait to share your story over at the Comeback Champion Summit or any one of our platforms that serves other folks. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone, and we'll make some good things happen. We connect again real soon. See you out.
One of our core beliefs at Holiday Termite and Pest Control is just doing right by people. Doing right by people. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. A lot of times when it comes to having a pest inside your home, and you think about calling an exterminator, you think about them coming and spraying or putting traps down or bait stations and such, but there's way more to it than just that, right? We didn't spend this time studying and getting certifications for nothing, right? You got something in your house, there had to be a reason why they're in your house, right? And then there's a reason why before it even became a reason to come into your house, right? So we try to focus on the reason why you're having a problem before we come up with a solution. We treat people the way we want to be treated. So growing up as a military brat, we were always taught respect for people, respect for elders, respect for authority. And that's one of the core values that we have at Holiday Termite Pest Control. You know, I remember, I've been doing this for about 30 years now. It's 10 years as working for the company and 20 years in ownership. And I remember a story that one of my clients told me. She's been a client for over 20 some years, and she said, Cleveland, she said that you don't know this, but you have the nicest technicians ever. While they didn't know, during that period where my husband passed away, you know, and you having people come to your house, that brings a level of comfort, knowing that you have nice people nice, respectful people coming to your house. And that really hit home with me. And when that hit home, that really shaped how we move forward with the business, really focusing on doing right by people, respect for everyone. I am so thankful for being a part of this industry, the pest control industry. And with that, one of our core philosophies is giving back, right? We give back in a number of different ways. Me personally, this industry has allowed me to employ people that they're able to use this job to be able to take care of their families. Now, together, as we grow, we take that opportunity to take care of others. We've done things like went over to Haiti after the earthquakes. We've helped build homes after Katrina. We've been able to help the local community with respect to supporting local nonprofits who work with school-aged children to put them in better positions to do better by themselves, like we've been blessed to be able to do. So I have to say that one of our core philosophies is giving back. I'm sometimes asked, why do people do business with Holiday Termite Pest Control? And, you know, I really take that to heart. I know what it's like to go online to order a service provider to come to your home, because you don't know them. You have no clue. And we've experienced that ourselves. So it is very important to us that we show up professionally, knowing what we're doing, deliver the best services that we possibly can, and be clear with respect to what you're purchasing, so that when we leave your home, you feel like you made a great decision when you chose Holiday Termite Pest Control. We want to make you the hero of your household. What I enjoyed most about the Making of the Entrepreneur today was the snacks. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? I was challenged to dig deep, really, and to really understand, you know, who am I, you know, as it conveys to not only my clients, you know, to my family, to my friends, to the general public. And having that experience of really digging deep into who I am is just rewarding. I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight.
It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, and I just want to talk to all my entrepreneurs out there. And if that's you, like you, the entrepreneur, you, the business owner, you, the speaker, you, the coach, you, the author, you, the network marketer, you, the person that just want to do more good in the world by solving a problem, and you want to be paid, right? And so think about right now, if you had more high qualified paying clients that was like banging at your door, how would your life be different? When there's more revenue coming in and you're able to hire more people and you're able to make a bigger difference? What would that look like? Or number two, maybe there's folks that are coming in right now and they're knocking at your door, boom, 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 boom. But the only challenge you have is you're listening. Listen very closely, because this might be you, so listen very carefully. They're not converting fast enough, which means they're talking, they like you, there's conversation going on, but they're not converting. So there's two challenges, right? Number one, I need to attract my ideal client to me who can pay me. And number two, once they get in here, I need to have a system, a sales model, or a process so they convert faster. That means they pay you and then they come back. And if you're listening right now, you're saying, Shay, I want to be able to do that, but I don't want my labor involved. I don't want to work any harder. Shay, I'm at a place right now where I'm ready to reach more people. I'm on a mission, Shay, and I want you to listen very carefully. You were called to serve a group of folks out there, and you can't serve them right now because you don't have the revenue to purchase the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision. If that's you as you're listening, any of that resonates with you, I'm going to give you a website, which is Easy Sales Hub. Again, easysaleshub.com. Let me just spell it. I know you can see it below, but it's EASY, sales, SALES, hub.com. Now, the reason you want to go over to easysaleshub.com is that that's the place you can come to, and you can do two things. One, we'll do a sales audit. So we'll take a look at your sales process, your sales funnels, and we'll see how those are converting. Number two, you can have the tools and resources you need to be able to generate more revenue with less effort so you can serve more folks. So with that being said, as you're watching, go over to www.easysaleshub.com. My name is Shay Brown. Make it a great day, everyone, and we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless.